6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Peris and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The President appoints a task force to achieve the goals of the Gama Samaga Pilisandara National Programme. Low-income families to receive 5,000 rupees allowance for the festive season. Sri Lanka and the US keen to strengthen ties. India finalizes air bubble pact with Sri Lanka. All banks will remain open tomorrow. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 tally hits 95,000. The police urge motorists to be cautious when travelling during the upcoming festive period. In international news, India's new COVID-19 cases hit record again amid vaccination push. In sports cricket, the NCC wins the battle for supremacy. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has appointed a presidential task force to achieve the goals set by the government through the Gama Samaga Pilisandara program and to effectively and efficiently guide, pursue and review the progress of the program. The 15-member presidential task force for the Gama Samaga Pilisandara Rural Development is chaired by the Minister of Youth and Sports, Namal Rajapaksa, and consists of a team of state ministers and parliamentarians. Ms. Chandima Wickramasinghe, the Additional Secretary to the President, is in charge of compiling and coordinating all the necessary information related to the Gama Samaga Pilisandara rural development activities. The task force expects to expedite all projects, both local and foreign funded, under the public investment program within the targeted time frame. The Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has held discussions with the US Ambassador to Sri Lanka Elena B. Teplett. In a statement, Foreign Ministry said Foreign Minister Gunawardena briefed the ambassador on the various positive developments taking place in the country. They also discussed ways to enhance bilateral cooperation, including through development assistance. The Foreign Ministry noted that climate change, green energy and information technology were identified as priority areas for US support. India's Civil Aviation Ministry states that Sri Lanka has established a bilateral air bubble arrangement with India for the operation of special international passenger flights between the two countries. Under an air bubble pact between the two countries, special international passenger flights can be operated by their airlines into each other's territories under restrictive conditions stipulated by the respective countries. The Civil Aviation Ministry said on Twitter, India has finalized an air bubble agreement with Sri Lanka, making it the 6th such agreement in the SAARC region and the 28th in total. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The Secretary of the Ministry of Public Administration states issuing a notice. The public holiday declared by the government tomorrow, that is Monday, April 12th, will not be applicable for state and private banks. The public holiday was given in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year festival. The number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country has surpassed the 95,000 mark following the detection of 170 patients today. Accordingly, Sri Lanka has confirmed 95,018 coronavirus cases since January last year. The Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health said 2,791 persons are currently receiving treatment for the coronavirus at several facilities across the country. Earlier today, 175 persons who recovered from COVID-19 were discharged from hospitals, raising the number of recoveries in the country to 91,631. The police has urged motorists to be cautious when travelling during the upcoming festive period. The police said close to 580 people have been killed in road accidents since January this year. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana requested motorists and pedestrians to be cautious. He said April records a high number of road accidents. DIG Ajit Rohana said the police have commenced operations in both uniform and civil clothing to prevent accidents. He said 5 fatal accidents were reported yesterday alone. The police media spokesman also requested individuals not to overcrowd vehicles and to refrain from drunk driving. Air Force swimmer Roshana Besundara has set a new Asian record by swimming 59.3 kilometers across the Park Strait in 28 hours, 19 minutes and 43 seconds. Roshana Besundara began swimming across the Park Strait from Talaimana to Dhanushkodi yesterday. He returned to the island this morning, completing the challenge in record time. Though 14 swimmers have crossed the Park Strait to date, the unique feat of swimming back had been undertaken by only one Sri Lankan before in 1971, taking 51 hours to complete the event. That's local news.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The State Minister of Samurdhi, Shehan Semasinga, says steps have been taken to provide a cash allowance of 5,000 rupees to Samurdhi recipients and low-income families. The decision has been taken in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year. An estimated number of 2.8 million families are expected to benefit from this allowance. Samurdhi officers have been instructed to take necessary measures to hand over the cash allowance to the relevant families prior to the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The allowance for low-income families is expected to be handed over on the 12th and the 13th of April through Samurdhi banks.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka says all state and private banks will remain open tomorrow, despite being a government-declared special holiday. The government has taken steps to disperse the 5,000 rupee allowance to low-income earning families affected by COVID-19 through Samurdhi banks both tomorrow and the day after.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, India's new COVID-19 cases hit record again amid vaccination push. Iran launches new generation of centrifuges. Magnitude 6 earthquake hits Indonesia, killing 8. New COVID-19 cases in India surged to a record of 152,879 today as the country battled a second wave of infections by pushing for faster vaccinations, with some states considering tougher restrictions to slow the spread of the virus. India leads the world in the daily average number of new infections reported, accounting for 1 in every 6 infections reported globally each day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched a 4-day vaccination festival today to push more eligible Indians to get a COVID-19 shot. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says his country has launched a new generation of centrifuges that are used for uranium enrichment. Rouhani's statement came at an event attended by engineers involved in nuclear development. He said Iran has started operating new high-performance centrifuges at a nuclear facility in Natanz. He added that Iran will start technical tests of another type of centrifuge. A magnitude 6 earthquake shook Indonesia's main island of Java on Saturday afternoon, killing 8 people and injuring 23 others. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake occurred at 2 p.m. local time yesterday. It was centered off the coast of Java, about 148 kilometers south of Surabaya, at a depth of 82 kilometers. No tsunamis were reported. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. India's new COVID-19 cases hit record again amid vaccination push. Iran launches new generation of centrifuges. Magnitude 6 earthquake hits Indonesia, killing 8.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
The best discount in this Urdu season. People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, the government has decided to promote the Rathmalana Airport as a recreational aviation hub. The airport will be assessed under the government's program to develop the Rathmalana Airport as a domestic aviation hub. Accordingly, the Minister of Tourism Prasanna Ranatunga said new local air routes to tourist destinations will be identified together with locations suitable for aircraft runways. In addition to tourism, the Rathmalana Airport will be promoted for wedding flights, international commercial and corporate flights, private jet operations and drama and film-related flights. Meanwhile, the minister also expressed hope that domestic flights that have been suspended will resume with special concessions for companies looking to operate flights at the Rathmalana Airport. The government has temporarily suspended charging landing and parking fees and airport service charges for a period of 1 year. That was development news. And now in sports news, the Major Club Limited Overs tournament was won by the Non-District Cricket Club against Ragama Cricket Club a short while ago at the SCC grounds in Colombo. NCC made 286 for 7 wickets in their allotted 50 overs. Kamil Mishara made 113, Kavin Bandara 65 and Skipper Angelo Pereira scored 61 runs. Ishan Jayarathna and Binura Fernando took 3 wickets apiece for Ragama CC. In reply, Ragama Cricket Club fell short of 145 runs, scoring 141 runs after 30.3 overs. Janis Lianage made 42 runs. Chamika Kannaratne captured 4 wickets, while Lahiru Kumara took 3 wickets for NCC. Meanwhile, the third night match in the Indian Premier League between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Kolkata Knight Riders will be played in Chennai tonight. The encounter will commence at 7:30 p.m. local time.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Google Indo Maps was launched at Colombo's Bandaranaike International Airport earlier this week, becoming the first Indo facility to enable this feature in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan Airlines and Airport and Aviation Services Sri Lanka Private Limited teamed up in a remarkable joint project that resulted in BIA becoming the first venue in Sri Lanka to be enabled on Google Indo Maps, accessible on smartphones and tabs on both Apple and Android devices. Passengers and visitors to BIA can access detailed digital floor plans of the departure, transit and arrival terminals with just a few easy swipes on smartphones or tabs.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Considering the recent inquiries on virtual currency usage in the international and domestic markets, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka wishes to inform the public of the risks associated with investing in virtual currencies. Virtual currencies are digital tokens created by private entities that can be obtained online through mining, initial coin offerings, or through virtual currency exchanges. VCs are also commonly referred to as cryptocurrencies. The public is therefore informed that CBSL has not given any license or authorization to any entity or company to operate schemes involving VCs and has not authorized any ICOs, mining operations or virtual currency exchanges.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Natural Hazards Early Warning Centre has issued a warning of severe lightning to several provinces, which is valid until 10:30 p.m. today. According to the warning, thundershowers accompanied by severe lightning is likely to occur at several places in the central, Sabaragamuwa and western provinces, and the Gala, Matara, Anuradhapura, Vavuniya and Mannar districts. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely at some places in these areas. It further states that there may be temporary localized strong winds during the thunder showers. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by lightning activity.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President appoints a task force to achieve the goals of the Gama Samaga Pilisandara National Programme. Low-income families who receive 5,000 rupees allowance for the festive season. Sri Lanka and the US keen to strengthen ties. India finalizes air bubble pact with Sri Lanka. All banks will remain open tomorrow. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 tally hits 95,000. The police urge motorists to be cautious when travelling during the upcoming festive period. In international news, India's new COVID-19 cases hit record again amid vaccination push. In sports cricket, the NCC wins the battle for supremacy. That concludes this news broadcast.